everybody. Yes, this is a video about a World War II 45. However, I thought you'd like a brief showing of the man cave as it is today. We have a G.I. Joe size Sherman that I put together a few years back. Yeah, predominantly World War II aircraft. Here we have more aircraft, tanks, trucks. On the bottom we have a MiG and a F-86 and a F-18. And here we have some more 1/18 scale tanks on the bottom, 1/16 scale remote control tanks on the top. Remote control Vietnam Era Riverine patrol boat in the corner there. More remote control stuff. The remote control half track is pretty cool. And more remote control tanks. Yeah, a little crazy. Yeah, some people come here and think it's I'm a little nuts, but just World War II history is very interesting to me. So here we go. So before I show you the 45, I thought you'd be somewhat interested in finding out how I got it. I think it's kind of a cool story. So I was a police officer at, well, let's just say the second largest police department in the state of Michigan for just over, there for a very short time, just over 28 years. Yeah, so as such, we would hear all the calls going out, over the air, obviously. And there was one call. I was actually on my way in to get changed for training. I was a firearms instructor, and I was teaching a class that day. And there was a call that went out for somebody to go pick up a couple of handguns from a lady downtown that she just wanted to turn in. And so immediately the thought came to mind, because I've always wanted one. I thought, man, what if one of those is a World War II 45? And I thought, no, people just generally turn in junk, so I just didn't think much of it. Well, I got down, got to headquarters and got changed, and I was in the motor pool coming back up the ramp, and the guy that did take the call, he was a buddy of mine, and he kind of flagged me down, all kind of excited. He had a plastic shopping bag in his hand, and he comes running up to the car and he says, hey, Johnny, hey, we just got picked up a couple guns from a lady, and he says, I think one of them is a World War II 45? Yeah. And I thought, you have to be kidding me. So he showed me the bag, he handed it over, and I put it on my lap, and I looked in there, and I just couldn't believe what I saw. It's a near pristine Remington Rand World War II 45. Just beautiful condition. So I said to, the other gun was a Colt Woodsman that was made in 1940, April, I believe, of 1942, which is kind of unusual because probably right after they made that gun, they shut down the making 22s, and they only made 45s and machine guns and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, so I said to him, did this lady know that when you turn a gun in like that, they just get melted down? He says, yeah, I told her. So I thought, first of all, I really wanted one, and second of all, just to destroy a piece of history like that, I thought was just not right. So anyway, I followed protocol. I went there on my day off the next day and introduced myself to her, told her who I was, that I was very interested in World War II history and firearms in general and that kind of thing. And so she told me what the history of the gun was. Her dad was a lieutenant on a minesweeper in World War II. He was in Africa, landings in Africa, and the landings in Italy, and he was actually at D-Day, she says. So that kind of made it even better. So I told her, we talked to her for about 20 minutes, and I said, interested in this gun, and well, both of them. And I said, would you consider going back down to the police department, getting them back out of property, and selling them? And she said, but because I guess the idea had never occurred to her, and she says, well, sure, absolutely. So I had a price in my, well, I only had a limited amount of money, so I offered her all of what I had to offer, and so it was she just says, sure, that's great. So yeah, she went down to she at the time she says, oh, it's too bad about the holsters. I said, what holsters? And she says, well, the 45 came with it was a leather holster with a flap on it. And I said, oh boy. And she said, describe the other leather holster that the Cole Woodsman came in. I said, why? What happened to those? He said she worked at an attorney's office, and she says, well, when one of the attorneys found out that I was selling the guns, he just came in and snatched them and said, hey, these will go really good with my kids' cap guns. And I'm like, oh. So anyway, so I met her at the police department the next day and wrote her check, which is good, by the way. And so she brought the holsters. She went and talked to the attorney. The attorney gave them up, and so yeah, I got the Woodsman and the Remington Rand 45 and the holsters for each one. So pretty darn excited. I was just so lucky and thankful that these were saved for me from the wrecking ball, as it were. So the holster that this gun came in was actually a World War I production flap holster. It is stamped Warren Leather Goods Co. 1917 on the back. I'll show this to you in a little bit more detail in just a second. But very cool. They did issue whatever holsters they had in stocks. So the World War I holsters for the 1911 obviously fit the 1911A1. So if they're in good shape, they issued them to them. The other thing that was kind of cool about it, the lanyard, which attaches on the bottom of the grip. The lanyard was still on it, on the gun. Oh, I forgot to mention, she wanted to get the guns out of the house because her dad, unfortunately, was suffering from Alzheimer's, and she just, wanted them out of the house. So, good move on her part, and it's just a sad thing. So yeah, the lanyard came with the gun already attached, and the holster, the belt, came with the gun. So that just was just a stroke of luck on my part. So this is the stamping on the back of the flap holster that came with the gun. Warren Leather Goods Co. 1917. And it's in, it's not in perfect shape, but it's obviously quite serviceable. Otherwise, they wouldn't have issued it. A little bit of wear and tear, but all in all, it's the leg strap hasn't been unraveled probably since it was made. So that's pretty cool. So as you can see, it's just in fantastic shape. There's very little wear on the front slide. The back edges and the grips are perfect. There's just a little bit of barrel where I shot this about I shot this gun about 50, maybe 75 rounds. I've had it about 15 years. So yeah, I'd probably put 75 rounds here. Probably half of the bluing see it better, if you're not looking through the camera, but it's probably deeper and more pronounced than it looks here. I have no questions that this gun is legit at all. It's all original. It's part of the collector's guide by Clausen. So it's got all the parts that should be there. Excuse me. And this side is the as it should be, the tube line about 1 inch through variation of the slide stamping. And back here we have the Frank J. Atwood inspector's tertiary initials. And somebody, obviously throughout the course of time, somebody unfortunately did the idiot scratch right here that they put the slide stop lever down here and then slide it up as they're pushing it, and of course that creates a nice little scratch there. That is what it is. And there's a little wear like right here in the front of the frame, a little bit of glue in or parkerizing loss, I should say. A little bit in the back, but overall it's just a great shape. So yeah, good find. It's just don't put it out. I've had it, like I said, about 15 years. And this one, yeah, it has to be my favorite World War II piece that I have. I had an original carbine and a brand made in 1955, but this kind of takes the cake. I've always wanted a World War II 45. Remington Rand made, I believe, for this book, about 877,000 pistols. I thought it was closer to 1 million, but maybe it's a different source. I'm not sure. Yeah, 877,000 of them, and I have one. So I thought you'd be interested to check it out, and we'll catch you next time.